Uh,
Right.
all right. So brewing is a significant part of stoneworks, where it is utilized for various purposes. There are wow, crazy. Uh, there are war brews, brews to improve mining, luck brews for fishing, and many others. Today I am joined by Askeladd, who seeks to revamp the system of writing these brews down with his stipend-winning publication, The Formal System for Recipe Documentation. We will discuss the ideas presented in the publication and explore the role of structures, aesthetic of sorry. We will discuss the ideas presented in this publication and explore the role of a structure's aesthetic within established systems. Now, before we begin, if you wish to take part in our guild, you can join us on play.stoneworks.gg and join us in our Discord below. Hello, Askeladd, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great.
Right.
What about you?
Okay. I'm the one asking the questions. No, I'm doing great too, Askeladd. Um,
All right.
all right,
Shoot me.
so we've you published the paper I mentioned, the formal system of recipe documentation, uh, pretty early on in January. Can you tell us a bit
Right.
about what inspired you to write this system?
Well, I mean, I keep, I want to be in the future. I want to be a chemical engineer, and
Right.
you know, I'm, chemistry is a big part of my studying. It's a big
Okay.
part of my life, and so I just thought, why not put it into this server since there already exists a brewery plugin. So, and everyone's just typing out these recipes. I just thought, what if we made it more elegant?
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Uh,
Um, I remember when
I'm
you
not,
wrote the process. It was a lot of back and forth. Very interesting to see how the ideas developed and how you came up with just the entire system. Can you tell us a bit about how the
yeah,
system is structured?
yeah, sure. So when I started, I had, I just saw the recipes, how they worked. I was kind of learning about this plugin, and I realized there are basically only three um, kinds of processes that occur when you try to brew a potion, and those are just aging, distilling, and well, cooking. Um,
Right, right.
and I thought, well, each of these can be its own reaction. These kinds of reactions exist in reality as well. Like when
Okay.
you try to make wine, for example, uh, you put it in the barrel. It's not just putting the wine there and just waiting. It has a practical that has a practical purpose. The oxygen has to be absorbed by the wine slowly, which is why you put it in the barrel. Hence, in my reaction, there's oxygen. The potion reacts with oxygen, and so just taking these real world examples and transforming them into Minecraft recipes. that's
Okay.
that's just how it happened. That's how it works.
Okay. That's interesting. Um, because when you read through it, there's a lot of symbols. For instance, distillation time, age time, and all of that. That to me,
Oh,
it's very
well,
fascinating. It was very fascinating to me to read it because it's definitely not something we see every day on Stoneworks. Mostly, it's just like a fucking like I can't swear, can I? Mostly it's like sorry, I need to make sure I don't go. Mostly, it's the recipes we have on most of the recipes we have are kind of like baking recipes, so it's very interesting to see a more like flavored style, you know?
Yeah, that's also what I thought. These they look like cooking recipes, like the ones you would see in a cookbook, and that's just not how they work. I mean, if you like again in real life, you read a cookbook, you cook something up. It doesn't give you these effects. It's much more
Yeah,
magical, sort of in the game. So the recipes have to reflect that. That's kind of
right, right.
why I think this is such a cool system.
Yeah. I remember in Guild Leadership when you published it, we were very excited about it because of like it's clear that you're doing something very unique here, and I say that a lot. Um, but I think that's really because I think what you're doing is very valuable, and I kind of we've seen some people actually join from the Brewers Guild here because they were kind of interested in what you did.
That's awesome. Thank you
So
so
how
much.
how
Really.
does it feel to kind of have that be able to have that kind of influence on people?
Oh well. I mean, I'm not sure. It feels fine, I guess, but it's not really something I really care about. I just want to
Mm,
keep working on this thing because it's not perfect. I just want to keep evolving it,
right, right,
and
right.
that's basically it. I don't seek to make people join or something. If it's a consequence of this, that's perfect. But that's not the purpose of what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of also you mentioned that it's not perfect and then it's always developing. That's just kind of this the process of science, isn't it? Just creating a system and then working on it over and over until you kind of get maybe not to perfection, but you get closer to it.
Yes, yes, and that was I was very I'm not sure how to say this. I was just excited almost to find some kind of inconsistency because it creates this sort of like that's what scientists or just people who do research, that's what they do. They find issues, and then they try to find a way to resolve them,
Yeah,
and that's why I really liked actually finding this mistake that I'm not going to explain right now, but I found this mistake in the theory, and I'm trying to fix it.
I'm actually curious. What is that mistake? I'm sure people in the audience are kind of curious as well. Like because then we can kind of get an idea of like the process you're going through as well, like on solving these issues.
Well, basically, in the paper, I have this Momphic table that I explain. It's basically the table of elements, but in Minecraft. I haven't actually drawn a table or put it together, but it can exist in theory. Um, and yeah, the problem I noticed was that there were um, there were things that were not compatible. For example, if we take Acacia, oh, by the way, the Momphic table it's supposed to take all of the Minecraft blocks and items and uh, have a notation for them. It's supposed to simplify their names so that you can use them in reactions better.
Yeah,
That way, recipes can be distinct from one another, and you don't have to actually explain what each ingredient is because there's a notation for that. And yeah, so I just noticed that acacia slabs and acacia stairs actually had the exact same notation. And I just, I don't think anyone's gonna use acacia slabs or stairs in the recipes, of course, but you know, it's it's
But it's
not
supposed to be an
it's not nice
all-encompassing
that
system, kind of.
yeah, it's if it's not um encompassing, like you said, all of the blocks and the items, then what's the point of it? It has to be better.
That's fair. So, do you have any proposed ways of fixing this that you've tried out?
Oh well, yes. I mean, I'm thinking of kind of changing the format of it, but I'm not sure how to um, really do that right now. I'm just gonna add another of these characteristics. I define um, actually, sorry, these notations, they have two characteristics in them, and I'm just gonna add a third and distinguish between blocks better. And it's
Okay.
gonna be called the geometric characteristic, by the way.
Mhm. Can you tell me a bit more about the characteristics of blocks
Oh well,
and different
um,
things?
yeah, one for blocks specifically, because I define blocks as things you can place. I'm not sure if that's a good definition, but it works for what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, blocks basically, they are full blocks and non-full blocks. That's one of the characteristics. And the other one is a material, like what's it made out of. For example, wood here would have a wood characteristic, and it would have according sorry, it would have the right uh, letters there. It would have WO. And if it's a block and it's full, then it has an F in the other slot. And if it's not full, it has NF. So
Okay.
yeah, those are the. Also, if it's an item, it has it's a bit different. It has IT at the second slot, and it has kind of like a geometric characteristic, like what I'm trying to do for blocks, where I say, well, a pickaxe is, pickaxe shaped. So, that's what would go to the first slot there, the first characteristic. And yeah, that's that's all the characteristics so far, but there's gonna be another one.
Yeah, there's always room for like additions as well, isn't there? Like if you run into another like issue, as you mentioned before.
Yes, of course. I'm not
I do have a
I don't
question
want
about
to
wood, though.
uh yeah, sure.
Would wood have the wood characteristic, considering it is made out of wood?
Yes. Uh it's just WO for all wood types, if that's what you are
Nah,
asking.
I'm
Like,
making a woodchuck joke. Don't worry about it.
oh, sorry.
No, okay. It's like the would a woodchuck chuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay, I'm actually quite curious about. So we've talked about the Momphic table a bit. Could you
Yeah.
kind of explain to us what the Momphic table is and what it seeks to achieve?
Um, yeah, yeah. Like I said a few moments ago, you know, in writing the ingredients for recipes, I came onto a bit of an issue. At first, I only thought of the reactions and what they would look like. I didn't actually think
Right.
about the notation of the ingredients themselves. And
Okay.
so that's when a friend of mine actually pointed this out. Uh, he said, "What about making a table of elements, but
Right.
Minecraft?" And that became the Momphic table. I just took that idea and thought, well, we're gonna have annotation for every single block and item, just in case it becomes in the future an ingredient for any
Right.
brew or potion.
Like if I wanted to make a staircase brew, there needs to be staircases in the Momphic table.
Exactly.
Got it. Got it.
That's why I can't leave out any blocks.
Yeah.
Unless, if you can't obtain them, then there's no point for having a
Yeah. Yeah.
notation for them.
Patent pending, by the way, on the staircase brew.
Does anyone have that? I mean, does
No,
it
no,
exist?
no. That would be funny though.
That
Because I
would be
think it's
awesome.
very fascinating. You've been talking about the Momphic table for ever since you like released this publication, and I'm very excited to see it whenever it comes out.
Yeah, by the way, I've been talking about it because there's a problem with it. It's just
Okay,
it's kind of bad, to be honest.
what's
You know,
the
it's
problem?
like, well, I mean, the incompatibility issues. I mean, I just found an example with Acacia stairs and slabs, but
Right.
there could be many more that I have not seen, so I have to fix that.
Yeah. How many acacia variants are there? Does anybody know the answer to that?
I've got no
Okay.
clue.
but but no, I get it. Like especially with like wood blocks, there are so many like different like wood types and shapes of the wood blocks. Like we're sitting on oak slabs.
Exactly. There's too
Yeah.
much to put inside of this little theory here.
Yeah. Are you open to like suggestions from other people as well? Like if anybody in the audience is like curious to like help you out with the Momphic table, is that something that you'd be willing to like accept?
Well, of course, and I will. I would also credit them. In my previous paper, I got help from that friend that I mentioned, and he's in the cover, uh, in like
Yeah.
his name, and also you are there as well, since you also helped when publishing. You mentioned something, and that
Yeah.
prompted me to change a whole page in the paper. So you know,
Yeah, sorry about that.
you you should also be credited for that.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like
Uh,
your work. I'm just like a bit of a nitpicker personally, so that's just
well,
why I did it probably.
that's good though, because it makes the paper more. It makes it stronger, more solid,
Yeah,
more accurate.
yeah. Uh,
Uh, by the way,
at the
sorry,
very end.
just hmm,
Oh, yeah, one more part.
so
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to mention, by the way, the notation for the Acacia slab and Acacia stairs. The reason there's a problem with the Momphic table, the notation for them is um, the wood characteristic, so WO. They're both not full blocks, so NF, and then they both start. They both have two words which start with the exact same letter, so AS,
Hmm.
and that's you know the exact same for both of them. That's I just wanted to mention that.
Hmm. What if you made a separate notation for stairs and a separate notation for slabs?
Oh, well, I thought of that, having exceptions. For example,
Right.
the one with the stairs and the slabs. But then I would have to look through and write down every single notation for everything. And I just thought, that's not really an elegant solution. Went over my head. What was I saying?
Now we were talking about how you would have to go through like every block if you wanted to make a proper system that worked for
Oh,
everything,
that's
right?
right. Yeah, and yeah, that's not an elegant solution. Plus,
Mm.
the person using this theory would have to remember all the exceptions. And as a person
Yeah.
who studies chemistry, I hate these exceptions. They're so bad, like when you have to just solve an exercise and oh, you didn't remember, this one thing in this one line, and that's just I just don't want that to happen to other people.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. No. It must a good system is easily understandable. That is fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So, at the end of your paper, you talk about the importance of a structure in, like, the importance of an aesthetic structure to things. Would you care to kind of elaborate on what your thoughts were there?
Um, yeah, in the paper, I explain this with an example, I believe, with two buildings. Um, but basically, I'm trying to um, show people that this is not just something that's unnecessary. Um, like this isn't just a burden. This whole recipe format. It's not just a burden. Um, it does add something to the art of brewing. Um, and I noticed this in everyday things. When something looks and feels better, um, if it has some kind of aesthetic value, um, people will be drawn towards it, even if
Right.
it's not the best option uh, of that thing. It just because it looks better, people will prefer it. Um,
Yeah.
and that's something that it's just an observation. But I mean, if it happens to everyone, then you know
Yeah, for
it
sure.
it must be true that there's something
Yeah.
about aesthetics that matter.
Yeah, for sure. There's also like a certain like validity to like the cool factor of something, right? If it looks cool, people are gonna be like, yeah, let's get in on this, you know?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
so I totally
Even if
agree with
it's not.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like even if it isn't
Exactly.
functioning, like aesthetics and optics are very important for, well, many things, but especially like if you're trying to create something new and unique, you know?
Yeah. It's always the new stuff. It has to look slick and different and modern. Um,
It's like
the,
it's
the,
like iPhones.
yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. You just have to make it look cool, not different.
Yeah.
It's not the
I
same.
recently Yeah, for actually, yeah, that's actually a good point. It doesn't necessarily have to look cool, it just had to like make itself stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. But not. I'm just saying, like it doesn't just have to be different from other things. Like if everything is
Mm.
just like considered this place we're in right now, it's beautifully crafted. Like
Thank
if
you.
there could have been this library could have looked a lot different if people just uh, like cobblestone and made it like with straight walls, like a
Yeah,
square
yeah,
that
for
goes
sure, for
up
sure.
like a skyscraper. It wouldn't be appealing. People wouldn't be drawn to it,
Yeah, for sure. And like there
even
is
if it
a
would
certain
have the same practical use. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are certain optic stuff, like optic things we do too in the entirety of the guild to like make ourselves stick out and be more attractive. Like we do, well, we do stuff like this, for instance, this interview, which we're hoping to keep doing, and it's great to have you here for our very first one. Um,
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
yeah, and then we're building, a giant fucking. I can't curse. I'm so sorry. Uh, we're doing a giant tower as well, and all of that is really just for
I've
part
seen that. I've seen
yeah, like
that.
part of that
Just
is
like
literally just optics.
evil ass tower.
Um, but yeah, I I'm quite. Would you be interested in opening up for some questions from the audience
Oh,
if they have any?
yeah. Of course, of
Yeah,
course. If there are any questions, yes.
yeah. So does anybody here have any questions? You can raise your hand and we'll bring you up on stage. Fire. Just zooming out. Okay, we have Flum. Flumdrum is one of our other leaders. He would like to come up and ask a question.
Hello.
You can come up and sit here, Flum.
Okay. Um, well, you've already talked about this a little, but I'm curious about like the inspirations you have drawn from real life stuff to make this. And I'm just curious if there is a certain like tradition or science or something that you have worked with or like took inspiration from, especially.
Well, as I mentioned, I study chemistry, and we do a lot of reactions there. We there are, as you should know, I think, many different kinds of reactions, and you know, since there are in real life, I mean, and in this game, there are, different processes to create a potion. Then why not just have them be reactions? So that's
Yeah.
the sort of connection there. And with the Momphic table, it's like, um, I mean, you just have to trust me on this a bit, but above this computer right now, there's a table of elements, and
Yeah.
uh, you know, as I see it, I mean, why not have it be Minecraft blocks? To
Yeah.
have them connect with the recipe system.
Yeah. So it's mostly chemistry. Because
Yes,
I
yes,
think like
precisely that.
some elements of it like kind of resembles alchemy in a way.
Physics?
Like no
Oh,
alchemy,
oh.
like having
Um,
small elements of things that stuff breaks down into, and that I don't know. It seemed alchemical to me, but that's why I wanted to
you
ask
know,
if you have looked into that at all during this.
it's actually backwards. I didn't interact with alchemy before publishing this paper. I actually published this paper and then I got interested into alchemy. So
Oh, cool.
what was oh yeah, chemistry in alchemy they have symbols for for example, like gold has like the sun, I think, or just different symbols like
Yeah.
that, and the moon is like silver.
Yeah.
That's this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
kind of this kind of already exists in the form of hints. If you look at the bartenders guild, um, for some
Okay.
brews, instead of publishing the potions, the recipes they publish, not publish, they just post like a hint, which is like a riddle, and you have to solve
Okay.
it. You have to guess the ingredients and the time and
Oh, that's
everything.
that's kind of actually cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of just how it's kind of like just how they did it back in the day in alchemy with alchemy.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah.
yeah, very cool. I look forward to see if you do anything in the future with like more alchemical stuff. Good work.
I hope so. I hope so.
Sorry, cameraman.
The host is gone. Oh.
Yep. All right, so you mentioned a bit of about the brewing guild. Chomp, 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 chomp. Um, are you an active part in the brewing guild?
No, not not actually. But I go there for example, when in my paper there are examples of recipes. I
Right.
took them straight from there. You know that the community there.
Right.
I I think they're fine. You know,
To be
public. There's
clear,
a public
so
recipe
we
too.
don't get hunted down by the brewing guild mafia, are these are the
Oh.
examples of official recipes that anyone can find?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
good, good, good.
They are in the public recipes channel
Right.
in the guild there.
What? I don't want the guild to get invaded by me pulling my camera,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I don't want the guild to get invaded by the Brewers Guild.
I get it. I get it.
Nah. I what are your general impressions of the Brewers Guild actually? As a chemist, what kind of impressions do you get from there, like based on their brewing stuff?
Well, I I have read some of the chats in the general channel, and I mean, I I think they're on a good track. You know, I feel like some of them might discuss it, at a more at a better sort of level, like um, in terms of like at a more scholarly level. I think it's
Right,
not
right,
it's not the best word to use for this, but yeah, I think that's let's go with
right,
that. Um, and I like that. I like seeing that because
right.
that's basically what my whole paper's about. Just
Yeah,
making the recipes more look and feel more as if they are from universities.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And once again, it is you really succeed at that. It looks professional, but it's very easy to understand as well. I don't think anyone would struggle to like figure out what anything means reading your paper. So you've made it very clear while still making it looks complex, but it's really not. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really appreciate that.
yeah. That's the beauty of it. And by the way, the the way I kind of did that is I just kind of assume that the reader's gonna be a baby. They're not gonna know anything, and so yeah, I think everyone should do that. Honestly, like just assume everyone is dumb, okay, and
Yeah,
just
exactly.
write it as though they know nothing, because
Yeah, and that's
you're making a new thing here.
yeah, for sure.
At least for this kind of publication, it should work like that.
Yeah, totally. And I tend to agree with that. A lot of my personal works are also I also go into explaining everything as if the person reading doesn't have a single clue what it's about, and that's even if that's not true, it is such a good way to like make it's such a good way to write because it makes sure everyone can understand it and it's accessible to everyone, and the knowledge should be accessible to everyone. I think we could both agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, if beginners in a subject start to read something that's overly like it has many references and like citations and to different stuff that they don't know,
Yeah.
it's gonna feel overwhelming. They're gonna have to abandon that read, and they're gonna have to go read somewhere else,
Yeah.
about this stuff before moving on to the
Yeah.
many references and citations.
Yeah. And that's a pretty common mistake, I think. A lot of like, well, writers kind of fall into is that they'll use big words that they understand. Usually this is more common in like political theory and stuff like that, which uses a lot of big words that only really they will understand. And sure, it is aimed at those specific, readers. But I think the text that is worth the most, the text that everyone can read.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I tried to do there. Because I mean, I know that no one else has tried this. It's kind of you know, first time thing for the guild and for the
Mm,
server here.
for sure, for sure. If you had your way, would more people adopt your system? Like I know you did. I know you said it wasn't really about that, but I personally can see how it can be actually a net positive for this to become kind of more used on Stoneworks, since it's a very new thing, and I think it adds a lot of character to something that is kind of could be kind of considered kind of mundane now.
Um, uh, if it yeah, yes, fuck yes, yes. I think more people should adopt this, um, it- because it kind of benefits everyone. It
Right.
looks better. People will read this and feel better about brewing, um,
Yeah.
even when actually performing the act of brewing, and
Yeah.
I don't think this will actually happen though, because it does feel kind of a burden, I think, to many people. They'll just opt for the traditional, uh, just typing it out, and ingredients, it's
Yeah.
boring, but it works and it's convenient for most people.
Yeah. And why fix something that ain't broken, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Mm. Well, I personally would like to see more people adopt this because I think it could be very engaging to new players who aren't really into brewing to like see these things and be like, oh, this is cool. There's some science going on Stoneworks, which isn't really something you see in Stoneworks mostly at all. Um, so I think that could be really cool for people who come to Stoneworks. They see the videos, the Stony vids, and they're like, well, yeah, there are some cool wars going on. And then they join Stoneworks and was like, wait, what is this? Brewing chemistry? I like chemistry. This could be fun to do on Stoneworks. I think that can be really, really helpful, and I think you are definitely providing that. Your paper can kind of, and your method can kind of scratch that itch for a lot of new players who probably wouldn't have noticed this on their own.
Shit, that would be amazing, honestly. If more people just, they came here and they said, "Wow, there's some complexity here," and then they read it and they realize, well, this is not complex, but it's cool, and I'm gonna use this. It feels
Yeah, for
much
sure.
better. And I
Yeah.
to advertise a bit here, it I think it's really good for RP purposes. If people want to
Sure.
RP for in like a university setting or just any kind of school that has to do with chemistry or sorry, brewing, um, this is perfect. This is absolutely up your alley. You should read it. You should try to check it out.
For sure. And yeah, we because we also wanted some attention to it, so we also did a stipend for it, which I sent. I
Thank
also
you. Yes.
I sent you that money for. Uh, no, but definitely it was such a fascinating read, and I really hope to see more people like invested in the system.
Thank you. Yes, I'm up for
Yes.
that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, awesome. I I think that is all we have today. It's been great having you here, Askeladd, and it's been great to like hear about your publication. And I really look forward to seeing more of your works, especially around the Momphic table. It's like on my 2026 hype list, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. And as I
All
said,
right.
if anybody wants to join us and test out Askeladd's system on the server, you can join us on play.stoneworks.gg and join our guild in the Discord link below. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.
Can I just add something? Don't confuse Acacia
Oh, yeah.
slabs with Acacia stairs. Don't confuse them. Okay.